Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while, has it not, since we've had a live stream. So hopefully, touch wood, we're going to make it work. Sound quality is going to be a little different to previous streams because we've got the new microphone, which is just off camera here. So let me know on the sound quality, whether it needs to go up, whether it needs to go down, all of those sorts of things. So yeah, let me know. Has the stream started? I think the chat's just catching up. Yeah, I think the chat's just catching up with me, which is lovely. Yeah, I'll let the chat catch up, or hopefully I'll let the chat catch up because, yeah, sorry, I'm just nervous because I haven't streamed in so long, and the last couple of times we streamed we had massive technical difficulty, so I'm very worried we're going to get this wrong. But no, are we working? It looks like we're working. Okay, we're working. Fantastic. We have a stream. Right, let me do the usual sharey outy things so people know that we are live. Let me just get the key and hopefully view and watch page, that might be easier. So if it gets a little bit laggy, I apologise. Hopefully it won't. Good evening, everybody. Glad to see that people are turning up and making it, and that tells me it's working. Seems all good. Good. Fantastic. I just want to see the stream load on my end, so as I can share it safely. Thoughts on the state of the Imperium? Could be worse. Hopefully just keep getting more of it fleshed out as we go along. The codices have helped, but they haven't really given us much. It's been quite overarching, which you'd expect. It's introducing new stuff. A wee bit of delay. Is that delay in... Where's the delay? Where is the delay? It looks like the audio is synced up. It looks like the audio is synced. Also, the chat seems to have frozen. Hold on. Yeah, okay, there we go. Chat's catching up now. Have I listened to both of it? No, I haven't. I've heard of them, but I've never actually listened to their stuff. Okay, I'm going to trust that the stream is working, so I'm going to do the share it. I'm sorry, I'm just really nervous about the state of everything and whether it's working. Let's go to Twitter and do the share thing. I think I misclicked. Chat on screen is still behind. Yes, the chat is always behind because the way that I've got it is I'm capturing the chat as I see it. So what I'm seeing is as it comes in, which is delayed to what, obviously, how do I put this? What you're seeing is delayed to what I'm seeing. Thus, what you're replying to is behind what's actually going on the screen. That's how it always works. There's always a little bit of delay between the input and the output. That's just the way it works. So that's just the way it is. Thoughts on the 1000 Suns Codex? I'm interested to see the Mutilith. I was not expecting to see that, but interesting idea. And obviously they're going to be decent because anything that can pack a lot of Psychic probably is relatively decent, particularly when it's got something like Magnus in its army. So I wouldn't be too concerned if you're a 1000 Suns player. They're probably decent. Standard. Could do without because I'm already nervous enough about this stream without being trolled. Thank you. Hey. Okay, we're gonna... Actually, I'm just gonna pop the chat up on there. So he's saying his chat has broken the foot. Right, okay, I'm just going to leave that now. Anyway, welcome to the stream. I hadn't really got any plans for this. I just wanted to make sure that I could actually do a stream. And yes, it's good to be back. So I'm just going to do some painting because I've got a lot of new Stormcast. Some of you will know I got the Vanguard Brotherhood, which I unboxed earlier before Christmas on the channel. And I've also come into possession of Blight War, and I've got an unboxing for that coming out week after next. Yeah, probably week after next, or the week after that, depending on how I'm doing with the town called Malice with the hobby series. So I'll be working on something for the Vanguard Brotherhood and some other stuff. Yeah, I hope you enjoy that, and we'll have a talk, because obviously there's a lot happened. We had the New Year's Open Day that happened yesterday, and we got the reveal of, as we've already seen, the Thousand Suns Codex, and other things, which I'm very interested to talk about. And we've got Malign Portents, and Malign Portents was such a fantastic reveal. I am super hyped for Malign Portents, I won't lie. So yeah, I want to talk about that as well. How do you feel about the Custodes being released for play? Well, they were in the past. Some people, Alexis is one of those, and getting a bit wound up that they're not with Sisters of Silence. The only reason I can see them not being put in with Sisters of Silence, if they're going to give the Sisters of Silence and the Custodes the full proper treatment they deserve. So we've seen already, we've got Terminators, jet bikes, the infantry, their Land Raiders. For the Custodes, they've got some stuff. I don't know how much stuff, but they've got some stuff. And the Sisters of Silence hopefully will get the same treatment. So hopefully, if that's all good, then the Sisters of Silence will get the proper army rather than being rolled in with the Custodes and thus being a bit too small. Marbus, that's the guy involving Luther, right? I haven't got the Dark Angels Codex, or do I? Hold on, I might have the Dark Angels Codex. Any plans on doing the series on key phrases before we came out the champions of Forest Heresy like Dante said? Let me get through Regiments of Renown first, but I will hopefully, I think I might do something like that for Dante, Grimnar, Azrael, Calgar, and I've done Helbrecht in the Black Templars video, so not him. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I can make a bit of a series like that. I've already covered Pedro Cantor, I've already covered Helbrecht and Grimaldus. So anyone who's not from a Legion that I've already covered, I've already covered. So like if it's a chapter master that I've covered in a video in the past, I've already covered that chapter master of that chapter, if we know about them. Like Caldor Drago, for example. So we'll see. Why did the Order hero have to be a Sigma? I want to know for a Saurian rather than more. I see what you're saying, and I agree we need the elves. Sorry, I'm going to try and use my left hand for gesturing because my right hand's kind of blocked by the chat. I get what you're saying. I can only assume it's for plot reasons. The Lord Ordinata, however you want to pronounce it, is there for plot reasons because the Stormcast kind of drive the plot. I admit, I'd love it to be an elf. I'd love it to be something that's not a Stormcast, even as a Stormcast player. I get what you're saying, and I want to see more stuff in the Age of Sigmar after Malign Portents. So I'm hoping that when we do the Summer of Slanesh, which is something that's rumoured, we're going to get this Summer of Slanesh thingy-majib, that hopefully the elves in Age of Sigmar will be fleshed out because they're sort of involving all sorts of things, but because Tyrion is believed to be the one with Slanesh, it will make sense for the elves to be involved there. If you don't have the DO Codex, is overviews on the Librarian's Lore page under the Lion Corrupted heading. Okay, leave it with me. Leave it with me. 40k, Codices, Imperial. Oh. Here, hoping the Night Goblins come along now they have a hero. Yeah, Moonclimb would be nice to get something. Obviously, I think this first few months is going to be all about death because we've got the Death Mega Battle Tome coming, and we've got, well, all of those sorts of things. So I suspect they're going to be top of the list. But yeah, definitely intrigued. Okay, that didn't work. Oh, overshot. Fallen members that known to Dark Angels. Demon Prince is close second. Sketchy half-form reports suspected fallen name Mars. So service in M36. How the Demon Prince of the same name came to earn the vile favours of the Dark Gods, or even if it is the same being, is unknown. All that can be sure is the winged demon speaks too much truth and still bears the unmistakable elements of the armour of the First Legion. Worst of all, his form is a direct affront to the memory of the Dark Ages Primarch, for the arms his head is taken on the twisted shape of one of the much-feared lions that once dominated the fights of Caliban. Okay. Not that intriguing. He's just a demon prince fallen who has a funky looking head. Sorry, that doesn't intrigue me half as much as I thought it might. If it's a Sonorous Dinesh, funny. Thousand Suns shit. What? Nope. Oh, is that a Thousand Suns Codex jibe? Maybe, not sure. Anyway, I've kind of left this in the pot. My brush is going to need replacing soon. Swear to God, yeah, I'm going to need to replace this brush before too long. Oh yeah, by the way, the mic is way more sensitive than it used to be, so sorry if you hear a bunch of, like, you might actually hear cars out the window, and I don't know why I'm getting, like, little buzzing feedback. Oh, that just might be me. I don't know if you're picking that up. The image of the Emperor as a bleep could be the Emperor trying to force humanity to stop relying on him. Does he see his true death and know that humanity needs to be independent? The Emperor taking a back seat after winning the war with the Chaos God is an interesting idea. However, I don't think this was the idea. That's an interesting thought, though. As the chat says, interesting thought. Have I seen Death of Hope? No, I actually haven't. I've been kind of busy writing lab reports and then moving back to France for 6 months, so kind of wasn't on top of my to-do list, I'm afraid. Right, black. Where's my black paint? Yeah, it's like a self. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I know what causes it. I'm gonna move my phone as far away from my laptop as possible, but I don't want to move my laptop. After Stones and Ash has to an autumn of orcs. I'd love to see the orcs. That's true. Marvus also attacked the Rock and freed Luther. I thought Marvus had something to do with Luther, but you pointed me probably to the wrong heading. It's 3 minutes. Go see it. I would, but I might do it. I'll do it after the stream because I don't really want to show it on stream because, well, that's potentially copyright infringement and all that stuff, and I'm not about that life. I'm sure it is a very nice trailer. I just haven't got round to it. Just with one thing and another going on. Probably would have been asked, what do you think of the extended spell? I wanted Necrons. I saw that teaser, and we raised that teaser because it came out while we were recording an episode Podcasters, actually. And we saw it, and my first reaction was Necrons. And I really wanted Necrons. So I was a little bit disappointed to see Custodes. But it'll be interesting to see how they fit in, and hopefully it will flesh out where they've been and what they've been up. Well, I know where they've been, or what they've been up to over the past 10 or 11,000 years. So, not bad, but I would have preferred Necrons. What do you think of the Dark Earth War Queen model? Very nice model. I expect I'll probably end up facing it at some point or another, but yeah, very nice model. Or to be fair, all 4 of the Malign Portents heroes are very good models, and like that shaman is just ridiculous. Did you get many battles in over Christmas? I'm afraid not. I got 2 games of Age of Sigmar and 1 game of 40k in. Although that game of 40k that I had was really, 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 really good. It was really, really good. But I didn't get a chance to play many more games because of one thing or another. No idea about the Gene Stealer Cult on Terra, I'm afraid. Hopefully the Gene Stealer Cult Codex will make mention of that, or maybe even the Custodes Codex will make mention of it as the Custodes attempt to take it on. We shall see. That'll be a fun story to read, the Custodes trying to root out a Gene Stealer cult on Terra itself. I was thinking White Seers, they've actually waited and watched. I mean, nice and elite Inari choice. I don't know. I think it was because it was the New Year's Open Day. It had to be a proper faction reveal, and introducing something out of nowhere with such little pomp or hype, just doing it like one teaser, bang. It wasn't going to be anything brand new. It had to be a faction that already existed, and so the Custodes sort of made sense. Again, as I say, wish it had been Necrons, and it would have made more sense if it was Necrons with that sort of statement, because the Triarch could be, or the Silent King might have been watching and waiting. But hey, whatever. I was thinking, no, that's everything. Kind of incessant that we more or less forgot. Yeah, agreed. How's friends? I only got back yesterday, so I start uni tomorrow. I've already been sending about 600 emails trying to get stuff sorted because of nonsense, like people not checking their emails that I sent a week before Christmas, and it's now going to second week of January, and I still haven't had an answer, and that's really buggered me up. But that's out of my control, I'm afraid. Christmas was alright, actually. Yeah, it was good to be home, good to see everybody. Caught up with some of the people from the gaming group, caught up with the family, obviously. So yeah, good Christmas, good New Year, and definitely needed. Definitely needed. To be fair, you're not even that late. It was only about 15 minutes since we got started, maybe 20. Although I spent the first 5 minutes just faffing about trying to make sure it was working and trying to self-reassure that it was working, get the chat to help me out and all of that stuff. So yes, all good. So I'd probably be streaming for 90 minutes to 2 hours. So yeah. Thoughts on the Death Battle Tomes and the 4 new ones coming out? By the 4 new ones, I assume you mean the 4 heroes. And as I said, I have mentioned those earlier, they are fantastic models. Really, really love those models. The Death Battle Tomes, I'm not so fussed about them rules-wise because, well, I just think that's necessary because we're getting 6 allegiances, and that's going to really help flesh out Death, especially with Malign Portents. And hopefully it will really help flesh out the lore of Shyish, and everything going on there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Maybe not to buy, but at least to know about. So all that information's available, which is really, really important. And hopefully it sets the trend going for the rest of the year to get a bunch more stuff for Age of Sigmar. An episode Catalyst is coming out this week. It's coming out on Wednesday, so you can look forward to that. It's my host, so look forward to seeing it on the channel right here. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe so you don't miss it. Come on, am I kidding? That's a weird question. That's just a weird question. Do you think the Primarchs who fought alongside their brothers ever set up tag team maneuvers? As in, would coordinate their assaults so that certain pairings just worked really well together? Yeah, probably. Like the super strategists like Gilliman or maybe Lion and Horus. I'm sure they had stratagems for working alongside other Primarchs. I mean, Gilliman had the idea of the Dauntless Few, which was the Primarchs alongside whose legions the Ultramarines would never lose. That was Dawn, Sanguinius, Manus, and Russ, I believe. So obviously they did consider about working together. Did you see that sort of map? Yes. Oh, I'm so happy. I was watching the trailer. I was looking at the Malign Portents website, and I looked at the realm section, and I saw that map, and I was just so happy, because for those who didn't see it on New Year's, we made a video saying that the main thing we just want for AoS is a map. Like, damn it, I just want a map so as I know how things fit together. Like, how the realms link together, what are realm gates, how do realm gates work, can you make them, all those sorts of things. These are mostly points Kieran was making, but just like something as basic as knowing which realms are linked to which and how, yes please, I'm so happy. I was so pleased to see that, and getting the all the other information that we got in those two trailers was just stellar. Just absolutely stellar. I was so pleased with the Malign Portents reveal. Nearly made my thoughts on it, to be fair. I didn't quite get round to making my thoughts on for Malign Portents because I had enough going on and stuff, but I was very tempted, although it would have been a bit too hype trainy for me, because I'd get carried away, knowing me. But hey, yeah, very much looking forward to Malign Portents. Can't wait for it to come out. Will undoubtedly be picking it up, although whether I get the English or the French version is still up for debate. We shall have to see. Everything's still working as planned, am I right? Yeah, everything's still working as planned. Oh, we've got 35 people here. That's cool. Didn't expect that. Hi. Primarchs in a bar fight. Dear me. Well, it's hard to see Angron losing if it gets up close and personal, although Magnus has advantages as well, I suppose. Would be neat if the Void Dragon woke up. That would be an interesting plot twist, although the idea is that the Silent King led a revolt against the Catan, so the Catan didn't control the Necrons, and then he cut the command protocol so he couldn't control the Necrons, so I don't think we're going to see anything like a Catan reasserting control storyline. I really don't. Do you know VR chat? Yeah, I know of it, however, I don't have anything for VR, so no. Is the Beast of Armageddon dead? No. That is wrong. Ghazghkull is not dead. Last we saw of Ghazghkull, he was in Octarius fighting the Tyranids. He was pursued by the Black Templars. He was pursued, but he was not slain. They had him cornered, but he was able to be saved. Go check out my Ghazghkull lore video, Ghazghkull Revisited. My second Ghazghkull lore video. Go check that out because I think I mentioned in there we're having a Ghazghkull. Or just go and look at my Orc lore, my Black Templar lore, my Commissar Yarrick lore in the Steel Legion video. Yeah, I've talked about Ghazghkull quite a lot, so you'll find it in my lore videos somewhere. Is it GW 1000 Suns Codex? Yes, they are. So the next codex we're getting is the Adeptus Custodes, and then after that we get the 1000 Suns. Well, correction, we get the Demons, which is just going on pre-order, then we get the Custodes, then we get the 1000 Suns, I expect. Can't Catan just think in physics bending object in existence with flesh metal? I'm not that up on the Catan, I'm not an expert on the powers of the Catan, and the Catan powers seem all over the shop. VR chat's free, does it require VR gear from what I've been told? Maybe someday, but we've got a setup that we're happy with, and for the moment we'll just stay as we are. We won't rule it out, but certainly not top of our to-do list. Is Romans okay? He's not 100. I don't know all the details, but he will not be joining us on the podcast this week. He was rather unable to attend the podcast due to his whatever's going on with him, and he posted on his community tab that he's got people looking after narration for him this week. So I think it might just be that his voice is shot as much as anything else. His voice is just horrendously shot. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to speculate or misinform. And yes, we do wish him well. It'd be good to have him back. I was in the impression most Necron tech shouldn't work by human understanding of physics, though I can't pin down where I heard they gained such fast affinity. The Necron tier have always had, the Necron tier, even before becoming the Necrons, always had ridiculously advanced technology, but they were just never really going to be able to win a war with it because they were too short-lived and they were trying to fight the old ones, the Eldari. It was just never going to work. What do you think about a Stellaris-like Warhammer game? That would be interesting, sort of an empire builder with space combat. Although, I think with Stellaris, like, you're taking out from a fort, you're taking ground combat out of an empire game. I think something would need or would like to have more ground combat mechanics than just here's an army, go. Also, a lot of the freedom you get with Stellaris wouldn't be as available because Stellaris you're allowed to create your own race and traits and things, and the races you're going to run into are very different and unique on every run, so it would lose a little bit of options and the map would be weird because it would be a fixed map and all that stuff. So as a concept, not bad, but I don't know how, you'd need quite a bit of work to make it work. What was it doing? Oh no, we were actually pretty good, me and Alex, we didn't argue that much, but you'll see that on Wednesday, so I'm not going to spoil the podcast for you. It was a good podcast, though. Very good podcast. Let's say I had influence over the law. What legion would you keep loyal and which legion would you send in their place? I've said this many times, and that's the Thousand Sons, but the problem is trying to rework the entire lore to fix a new 9 would just be too much of a nightmare. I don't think I think it's best to just leave it alone because there's just too much you'd have to rework. Like if you save one of the god-aligned legions, you'd have to send someone to that god in their place, and it just gets very, very messy. So, because I don't have the skill to try and come up with a workable plot, I'm just not going to try. With all due respect. Yeah, I get what you're saying there. Yeah, there are some things about the lore with the Necrons, but then again, part of that is because ancient history and keeping track of all those things was always going to be difficult. I mean, probably to be fair, the history we get for the War in Heaven is probably partially just wrong. Like, if the story is always told by the victors, then it's told by the Eldari. And if the Eldari are telling the story, they might not regard the Necron tier as highly as a threat or whatever. So I don't know. I see what you're saying, though. I do see what you're saying. Any chance of... I don't even know how I would do that. Turning on subtitles is one thing, but I don't have any control over those subtitles because I don't know what I'm going to say, and then I have to try and work out how to translate them. And no. So I'm afraid not. And there's no point me doing the stream in French with attempted English subtitles because, well, same reasons, but also 90+% of people are English speakers and not French speakers, so it just wouldn't work. Everyone is Monkai, pretty easy. Yeah, but that assumes you can understand my accent and also find a good way to translate what I'm saying. It just no, it just wouldn't work. Have you not read The Recounts of the War in Heaven for the Necromantic? I don't know them off the top of my head. Like, I know some of it is written for the Necrontyrs and the Necron's own perspective, but some of it will be the way that they were looked upon. Like, why would they say, oh, in their own history, yes, we were an insignificant threat and the old ones didn't care, and that caused their own fight. That's the way the Eldari or the old ones would see it. So you've got, it's a little bit all about perspective. I really like most of the new Nurgle stuff. The Beasts of Nurgle, I'm not so sure, but I really like the Great Unclean one. Have I done this now? I really like the Great Unclean one. The Heralds are fun and interesting. What's the other one they've got? The Bloat Drone Cavalry, absolutely on board, because they look quite cool, although they're quite different from actual Bloat Drones, the demon versions. So yeah, I'm on board. So what's going to happen with the Eldar? Oh god. I don't know. They've got two options really. Either slowly kill them off and leave them as they were before, or actually run the whole Ynnari thing, and then we'll see. Let's not be bleep talking Sigmar. Not around me. Like, I know people don't always like it, but it really does not deserve half the crap that it gets. And honestly, you think it looks cartoonish? You think Sigmar is cartoonish? I am inclined to disagree, but okay. Sounds muffled. I would disagree. I don't think doesn't sound muffled to me. Like, okay, it doesn't sound perfect. I'm probably aware of that, but it's not muffled. Are there any armies or factions based on the French World War? The Imperial Guard are the nearest to World War I. The Astra Militarum have always been World War stuff. Yeah. Sunny Orba Slanesh Hell's got renamed in the Demon Codex. That's because Slanesh hasn't got all of its stuff yet. Patience. Is the tower equipment too overpowered in the lore? If it's so overpowered in the lore, they're not making it overpowered on the tabletop, I'll tell you that. Nobody said they were nerfing Slanesh. Slanesh is probably getting a redo. I believe Slanesh is in line for a redo over summer, like a proper codex, like Tzeentch and Nurgle and Khorne have got in Age of Sigmar. They'll get their own battle tome, and they'll get some other stuff. Yeah. Also, yes, the Death Core. Which AoS faction did you get the next update? Destruction. I don't really care which, but considering that Order has, well, think about it. Order has Seraphon, Fire Slayers, Caradron Overlords, Sylvaneth, and Stormcast. That's 5. Death is going to have 7 worked through factions, or realistically it'll probably be about 4 or 5 proper ones. Then you're going to have Chaos, which has got Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, Pestilence, which is separate from Nurgle, before you ask. Then you've got the Everchosen, and there's probably another one that I'm missing off the top of my head, but they've got a few. Destruction has 2 orcs and 1 ogres, no goblins, and no foot-mounted ogres. The giants are an interesting faction, so I think it should be destruction once Death's had its go. Necrons said themselves insignificant into the retime, they nearly won the war. They say they retreated in 2 wars because their weapons were ripping reality apart. That's not the version I know. The version I know is that they were losing so damn badly until the Catan changed everything, won the war for them, and then, yeah, and then they turned on the Catan and retreated themselves because they could see that the Eldari were rising. So that's quite interesting. The word, there's something about the scale that irks. Okay, I sort of get that. Like, if you're someone who quite likes to scale humans, that the Bloodbound are really bulky. Some of the Nurgle guys are quite bulky as well, particularly in Chaos. And in Order, Stormcast, alright. Something about the scale maybe, but I don't think it's bad. Most of the Sigmar models, I really like the aesthetic of. Like, I think first thing Sigmar got right is its models are generally fantastic. Will the other go down the roll have the prophecy of the Star Child completed alongside the Awakening of Iniad? Ooh. Maybe Iniad is the Star Child. Probably not. We'll see. Honestly, no idea. The new Nurgle reminds you of the ghost in the real Ghost just was this cartoon. I haven't seen that, I'm afraid. Yes, to keep a secret, to get some stuff. So they actually get some stuff in the Demon Codex, but they haven't got a battle tome in AoS, and so they need to balance that out for parity's sake. Also, I should have done the stuff on my Gryph-hound. Would it make more sense to get Cat in Titus Sergeant dues? Listen like a battle being and only able to have a single squad supporting him. Well, the Thunderhawk can only hold so many, and I'm trying to think. Well, the thing is as well was that the equipment he needed to have, like the way those weapon stations opened was on his authorization. So maybe being a captain helped. Plus, it meant that he had more chance of being that much of a badass. Because if you're just a regular sergeant, I don't know. Maybe I get what you're saying. That the support he had was pretty small for a captain, but it could have been that the rest of the forces were in orbit and they were sent down, that they were the first Thunderhawk sent down, but they were going to be shot down, so the rest of Ultramarines were waited in orbit and they just couldn't get back. Although the reason he had a combat knife and a bolt pistol at the start of the game was because video game. How many Marines fit in the Thunderhawk? I don't know the exact number off the top of my head. You can probably check its transport capacity on like Forge World or in Imperial Armor or whatever. I feel like it's like 15 or 20. I certainly feel like it's more than a squad. Understanding's 30. Okay, well that would make sense. I'll make it 10 Thunderhawks to a strike cruiser, wouldn't it? Yeah. No, it'd be 10 Thunderhawks to a battle barge, I should say. Because they hold 3 companies, I think. I'm trying to remember my own law. Which Primarch was Trezzy? Oh, Remlay's mentioned this to me. Remlay's mentioned that Trezin had a Primarch that wasn't Vulcan. Oh, I don't know. If I were to guess, I would say if it's not a clone, because let's ignore that option of a clone for a second, the most likely that he's got is Khan. or one of the Lost Two, but I really don't think that they're going to bring the Lost Primarchs back, no matter how much Josh Reynolds might want to. So my guess would be Khan, if it's a not clone. Uni, I start back tomorrow. So I've been taking a bit of a day off just to do some hobby and some recording. So I've recorded next week's lore video. I've nearly finished the script for the week after. Got to, this week's podcast edited together, and that's going to be uploaded tonight, ready for Wednesday. And I've just been doing some painting. So I've got one model finished actually. I've got two. But one of the models you've seen before is just Judicators. But I have got a Griff Hound here. There you go. For the comments on Roman's Facebook post, it is not Corax, Khan or Vulcan. How do those comments know? What lore do you think we get in a new Necron Codex, also a Feather list? We discussed the orrery thing on the podcast, actually. We mentioned it. I think we just need to go away and double check our facts, really. Some people thought it might be Manus' body. I feel like the Iron Hands got that. Didn't they? No, maybe not. Thanks. Appreciate that. Have a gut feeling we'll see Russ soon. With 1,000 Suns getting a codex, I wouldn't be that amazed at the space. I think we'll get the Space Wolves by the end of the year. But I think we'll get Fulgrim in summer, and then maybe Russ right at the end of the year as your big Christmas release, maybe. Was when they telling them it wasn't them and to read the book? I'm going to have to go and read those comments. Give me a sec. If you get any static, it's because I'll be using a phone thing. Oh, thank you for the Deathcore video compliment. I appreciate that. I do my best. I'm not perfect, but I try. There's the Traveller's Guide to Age of Sigmar. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I'm sorry about that noise. I can't do anything about it. Just Facebook page. If you want to be surprising, go read the book because it spoils the ending of it. Right, okay. I'm not going to get a chance to read this, so I'm going to read this without saying it out loud. Not Raven, not Khan. Not Dawn. Named one, not one of the missing two. Thanks, comments, for not spoiling it, you jackasses. Right, I'm going to need to go and interrogate Rimlace later. Sorry, miles away. What lord did we get a new Necron Codex? I have no idea, that's why I wanted a new Necron Codex, god damn it. Is there any record of Terran using Necrodoas or they all phase out? I was under the impression that Necrons kind of, Tomb Worlds are kind of avoided by the High Fleets, but I think the sources conflict on that. Thoughts on Gilliman's action so far? Yes, he's doing the right thing. Pushing out, getting a new army together, pushing forward, trying to take back territory, re-establish contact with the Dark Imperium, deal with the traitor Primarchs as they pop up. Sure, maybe he's not handling everything absolutely perfectly, but he's editing the Codex and all these other things. So generally, good job, Gilliman. There you go. I just gave Gilliman a compliment. Come at me. Good. Actually, I'm going to message Remlays now. When do you think we'll see Chaos Primaris Marines? I think they're going to give it another year, at least, like to give the Primaris Marines a chance to, you know, be a thing that's properly safe. Like the idea is the Primaris Marines is that they're nearly incorrupt. They're much more less corruptible, much less susceptible to gene seed flaws like the Black Rage. We're yet to see how they work with the Calyx Helix. We'll see, but. We shall see. What's Magic Gate? Please explain. The first new book has a Chaos Primaris helm on it. That being the case, we won't. I don't think we'll get rules for them yet. They might get mentioned in lore, but I don't think we're going to get rules for them for a long time. It might get mentioned that one Primaris Marine goes just to let the theorists say, yes, it can happen, and say, well, actually, because, you know, reasons, but sort of like, I think there'll be like a Primaris equivalent to Muriel Sabathiel, just like one person who goes, so which shows to us, yes, it can happen, if that makes sense. Maybe the new version of the Codex Astartes will get a 6 out of 10. It was slightly better than okay review. We shall see. We shall see. Which Primarch do you want back yet? That sentence doesn't read very well. Do you mean that I want back, or do I not want back yet? Oh, first, right. Okay, thank you. Most logical answer is still Lion. I think they've set it up for Lion to come back. And I think that would be a really good one, because with Luther having escaped, it would be a really interesting way to see how he fits in, and how he'll work with the Dark Angels and with the Fallen, with Gilliman. I think Johnson will be a really good one to get back. Gold. Possible way of dealing with the Tyranid Tomb World thing. Tyranids may have bought too much. Possible one with the Catan Shard in a chat this Tyranids. I don't know. I think there is a case of conflicting sources on that. So we'll just see. I don't have a problem with it either way. Maybe Tomb World. I forget how the Tyranids actually interact with living metal. I completely forget. Cypher better move his ass. Maybe. I think there's just so many things going on. The Dark Angels are in a really intriguing spot. So, yeah, I think the Dark Angels could do with being involved. But the problem is, because we've got the Dark Angels Codex now, it sort of makes me think, oh, well, why have they released the Dark Angels Codex? If Lion's just around the corner, it makes me think Lion's suddenly miles off because he's not going to be in that Codex. It was in the Codex, I believe. So they've tweaked the old dialogue that was the end of the 6th edition Codex that used to say, oh, Luther's here and Lion's asleep and diddly. I think that's now been changed to say Luther's escaped. 3 Codices you want to come as soon as possible. From a lore perspective, Tau, Necrons, Dark Eldar. From a gameplay perspective, Tau, Orcs, and at that point I don't care because they're not my armies. Sisters, so they get balanced properly. There you go. Should the old looter wagons come back just for epic? Yes. Would you ever do Dark Heresy? If I wasn't completely busy as hell all the flipping time, maybe. Notice anything? No. Just hand Cypher over to Black Templars for safekeeping, work before. Cypher was put in like the securest prison. He's like the Terran equivalent to, or the Imperial equivalent to Fort Bloody Knox. He was on Terra. Like there was nowhere more secure they could have put him, but he's gonna get out anyway because he's Cypher and that's just what he does. I think just keep the normal looted wagons rather than looted titans. Third looter rules where you give a squad or any old unit slow out your opponent okay with. No, that no. In open play that might be hilarious. As a house rule that might be hilarious, but that's just no, that's just potentially stupid. What are your thoughts on the speed at which we're getting new lore? For almost 30 years, the lore moves slowly. Now it seems we're getting lore every week. Is this good, too fast, or not fast enough? I think as long as the lore developments we get aren't too, like, they're not giving us, like, huge, massive plot leaps every single day or every single week. They're just giving us more information, and that's important. Because it's the same thing as with Age of Sigmar. In 40k right now, we've got a new-ish setting. The time has moved on. We've got new events playing out, new players on the stage, and we need to know where everything is at. And so getting lore at a reasonable pace right now is really important because it means that we stay engaged, that our favourite heroes are not left to be neglected for ages. So I think it's a good thing. Can it last forever, the getting lore at this speed? No, probably not. But yeah. Cypher saved a bunch of Unforgiven from the Fallen. Okay. I'm intrigued. Also, yes, for looted titans, just use like Stomper or Gargant rules, yeah. It's neatly mirror the Imperial's reaction to the new events. Everyone's confused, scared, and hoping nothing awful happens. I mean, the community's reaction, I guess. I get what you're saying. Although, I wouldn't say I'm confused or scared. I'm a little confused, but I'm curious. I'm curious, I'm intrigued, I'm, dare I say, excited for the new lore. So, I get what you're saying, and maybe for like your average Joe that might be the case, but for someone who's like, who does lore for a living, it's kind of like, yeah, I just want to know, please. Okay, now you're just being absurd. With your looted Ordinatus weapons. Fallen laid a massive trap that killed 1,000 Marines from the Unforgiven chapters, and Cypher managed to lead the survivors to a teleporter to escape. Okay. Okay, that's intriguing. I'll try and look into that when I get the chance. And I thought the other guy was being absurd. Oh dear. There is never enough Tactica. Do you not know and accept this by now? Oh, by the way, has any of you read Devastation of Baal? I'm assuming some of you have. I've not finished it yet, so don't spoil. Obviously, don't. I sort of know the ending, but don't spoil the ending. But really interesting that the opening section of Devastation of Baal really had me interested. Just because it was such an insight into sort of the workings of the hive mind, which is something we've never had before. No. No is the answer to that question. The Golden Throne doesn't move. It's in the Imperial Palace on Terra, which is built around it, pretty much. So, no. No, I'm afraid not. Oh, God, I've got pins and needles. Bad pins and needles. Ow. What happens if a flare gets inflected with him? Oh, God. Oh, God. Thoughts on the Custodes? As a faction, intriguing, and I want to know more about them, which is why I'm kind of intrigued about this new codex. As a playable faction, I don't really care. Yeah, sort of, oh, as a showpiece. Still don't care. Personally, I'm not much for diorama making unless I can take the models off the diorama and use them. Not sure they still can at some point orcs to go over a starfall. That probably did happen. I don't know about still cannon because it's the first time I've heard tell of it, but orcs have pretty much taken control of everything at some point or another. What am I painting? I am currently painting a Stormcast Eternals Judicator and a Gryph-hound. And then if I get these guys finished, I'll be working on my Gryph-hound Alpha, which is over here, which is here, and I'll be building my 10th and final Judicator, hopefully by the end of stream, ready for a town called Malice next week. If not, I've got a Blight War unboxing that I'll put up that week, and then we'll pick up a town called Malice the week after. What's those in the AoS campaign and what we know of the new factions? Yes, more. Malign Portents looks amazing. Genuinely amazing. I'm so excited for Blight War. That is what I want the most. Yeah, I can't really say any more than that. And the new factions, obviously, well, Moon Clan getting some stuff we call the Dark Oath, Mortal Chaos will be very interesting. Obviously, Death stuff is critical. Lord Ordinator's the least interesting in terms of gameplay, but from a plot perspective, he's very interesting because he's a Stormcast like engineer. Yeah. Painting Silver Hands. You've completely lost me. Sorry, that joke is lost on me. Local game stores, bits box, we have like half the original AoS starter set in it, bought for like €25. Awesome. Enjoy that. You probably should. It's a good Star Wars. I've actually been given as my Christmas present a bit of the Age of Sigmar starter set, so I now own a Lord Relictor. Yes. I have a Lord Relictor and Vandus Hammer Hand. When we get Model of the Emperor at the end of the Horus Heresy book series, the gameplay book series. So what is Malign Portents? Okay, right. Have I finished this section? Because if it does, I can do hand gestures. Yeah. Okay. Malign Portents is the best thing to happen in Age of Sigmar in a damn long time. It is a new campaign / lore update / supplement that does all sorts of stuff relating to the realm of death, which is called Shaiish. So I'm going to call it Shaiish from here on out. Basically, after Chaos invaded the mortal realms, Nagash got his ass kicked by Archaon and pretty much has done nothing since. He's been sort of scheming in the background, but we haven't seen anything to do with it because the only death faction we got any lore about was the Flesh Eater Courts, who got nothing to do with Nagash. So, now we get Malign Portents, which is a campaign book taking place in Shaiish, which is sort of seeing Nagash's schemes come to fruition. We've seen things all over the mortal realm, things that have made no sense, and people like the Lord Ordinator, who's sort of a seer type person, as well as the Moon Clan, Grots and the other shamans and seers all across the mortal realms are converging on Shaiish to work out what the hell is going on as all of this comes to a head. From a lore perspective, we're not sure what this is going to entail. Hopefully it'll give us fleshing out the existence of the lore of the realm of death, how it all works, and how Nagash's armies work, that we have the death battle tome that's coming as well for that, and hopefully we're going to get rules that include manipulating the fates and other shenanigans within the realm of death. Suffice to say, all the stuff going on in the realm of death is fantastic. Yes. That's what it is. It's sort of a campaign supplement thing. It's got its own website. Go and have a look at it. So how does Paladin Order in Warcraft? I thought it was. Stormcast Cult Scheme reminds me that. Did they wear black armour? I didn't think they wore black armour. But okay, fair enough. To be fair with the new campaign on my side, I hate the Stormcast doing it again because there's so many good Order factions that need a battle. I'm aware of that. I agree with that. I have 2 Elven armies doing NAF4 at the moment while I do my Stormcast. But the problem is that unless they want to introduce a entirely new Order faction out of nowhere, at the same time as introducing all the Death factions out of nowhere, at the same time as introducing Moon Clan out of nowhere, and the Dark Oath sort of out of nowhere, yeah, basically there's just too much to introduce at once. I think it makes sense to have something that makes sense that is, Stormcast. I get what people are saying and why Stormcast Overload is a bad thing. I agree. I want to see more factions for Age of Sigmar, but I want them to be in for destruction and death because they are more important, that we get all the Grand Alliances represented, and Stormcast are like Space Marines. They're just sort of there to give someone a sense of familiarity, to give the players who bought the starter box something that they understand, and all of that sort of thing. I get what you're saying, but it's okay, because it's still going to be introducing new plot, because the Lord Ordinator, who's the Stormcast hero that we're getting in Malign Portents, is an engineer. He works with the Dispossessed, which are the dwarves, to create the great cities that we see today. Therefore, that's going to give us interesting plot, and hopefully lead into the Dispossessed as an idea further down the line, if that makes any sense. Right, how about ready to go? Not too much. Will Vlad return as a Mortarch? No, the Mortarchs are Manfred, Arkan, and Neferata, I'm afraid. Do I not water my... No, because that just takes time and effort, and it would just... I don't have the time, and I don't really mind. I'm not familiar with the Ares Lord of the High Age artifacts and Warhammer Fantasy ever get explained. Not to my knowledge, but I'm not an expert either. Why does Never tell the High Lords to make new technology? Because that's not the way it works. And we have a map of the realm, so I'm super excited and happy with AoS minus Stormcast. I completely get what you're saying. And the maps is fantastic, but again, I sort of see what you're saying about the Stormcast thing, but I've already said my piece on that. Will the Toonkids models back for AoS for a new Death faction? I don't think so, but I won't rule it out. I don't think so, though. Because they sort of changed it, so now that all of Death pretty much is under Nagash's boots at this point. So I'm not sure. Time are we? 9 o'clock. Opinions on the Custodian's release? I I've said it a few times already through the stream, but I know you're new, so I will say it again. Interested from a lore perspective, not interested from a gameplay perspective. Does the Emperor talk to his guards? Hopefully the Custodian's Codex will tell us that. Right, it's now, I thought we'd be going for an hour. I'm just going to quickly get a drink, move a few cables around so I've got my charger onto my laptop and all that stuff. I'm going to stick a little bit of fiddling, so I'm not going to do that on camera where it's going to cause all sorts of mess. And then I will be right back. I'll leave the chat on the screen for you so you can all, the people who are watching this in post, are not going to be completely bored. And there we go. So I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. Got a drink now. All good. So where were we? Have I thought about doing AoS lore videos? Yes, but it won't be me. Basically, hopefully we're going to have AoS lore videos down the line. But the problem with AoS lore videos right now is where you want to start is at the beginning and lay out the foundations. So I'm just going to take the chat off the screen for a few seconds because this is something that needs a lot of hand gestures. So give me a second. Right, so making a lore series for someone like us would be a case of start at the bottom and work up. That's why Remlace's beginner's series is so amazing, because it lays the basic foundation for every race and the galaxy as a whole, and then builds it up and up and up and up. And then you can do his theories and understand all the crazy stuff. With me, I completely get that idea of wanting to start at the bottom and work up, particularly in the case of, 8th edition and Age of Sigmar. The problem is, as we said in the New Year's lore video, not lore video, top 5, Age of Sigmar's built its extension without building a house. And if you haven't got a house, you haven't got foundations. And that's the problem AoS has had, and that's what Malign Portents is starting to fix. Because what Malign Portents has started to fix is it's given us the foundations. We know how the realms are sort of laid out, how they link together, what the hell they are to begin with, how it works, how they function, what links them together, diddly-diddly-dee. And that is critically important. So I could give you some we could give you some faction lore, like how does this faction work, but then you're guessing, well, what about this? How does that make any sense? So that's why you want the foundations as well. So there will be AoS lore videos eventually, but I won't be making them. Or at least they'll be on this channel, but I won't be the narrator. Maybe not even the writer. So there you go. Right, where was I? Still the White Dwarf, okay, I didn't even know that was a thing. Have you thought Flag was the Mortarch and in the lore not all Mortarchs have been named, I think. Is he? I thought there were only 3 Mortarchs. Sorry, my bad. Like Tucum's Cracker's death was a foil for Nagash, so basically like they used to be. The problem is they need a leader and also a reason to exist the way they do. And I'm not sure how they'd write them back in. Once they go to AoS, can 40k get its incomprehensible Dalek Terminators back? Although the Tomb Kings, don't get me wrong, but I miss the old Crons. Yeah, Necrons definitely did borrow a few Tomb King-y things and a few Thousand Sunny things. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying about that. But I quite like the new Crons. They have their ups and downs, but I quite like the new Crons. And aesthetically, they're far more interesting, at least. Just give us Cetra. Well, the problem is you need a reason for Cetra to still be in the game. You need to be able to write him back in, and that's the difficult bit. Also, I'm going to have some chocolate now. Because you don't get Galaxy chocolate in France. I brought my selection box that I got for Christmas out with me. Just so I could have some Galaxy chocolate. I know, I'm sad. Just thought I'd mute my mic while I did that because that would have been incredibly rude otherwise. And then times fly was the Mortarch of Shadow or something. The problem with Shadow is that pretty much went to Malekith, which is now Malerian. So anything Shadow based is sort of on Malekith now. So maybe that wouldn't work. I'm not that up on the End Times lore. I wasn't super up on it. As I say, the Emperor Mini will be released, I reckon, once we've had all the Horus Heresy gameplay books from Forge World. I'll stick with that opinion. According to the French, you're going to make some crisps. Oh, hang on a minute. If you're American, you say chips to mean crisps, and we mean chips as in French fries. Oh God. Why do you all have to be so confusing? Anybody excited for the Toon Kings Total War Warhammer 2? When does it come out anyway? I'm not sure when it comes out, but it looks cool. It does look cool. I admit I haven't actually played any of the Total War Warhammer games, or I've never actually played Total War, even though I sort of know quite a lot about Total War. I've never actually played it, particularly Warhammer 2. But yeah, they do look very cool. And it was a really fitting trailer, like the whole Indiana Jones gone wrong thing. Yep, you can now hear the howls out the window. At the end of the End Times, Cetra told Nagash that after this was over, he would kill at the same time killing a greater demon. Well, that's just Cetra being a badass. The problem is, like, you know, most everyone that wasn't Nagash, Sigmar, or Chaos, or, well, actually, pretty much if you weren't an incarnate, you died. Pretty much. Like, Alariel lived, Grungni, Gorka Morka lived, but that was because it's a god. I get that. I think because I think Nagash having an enemy within death kind of makes a lot of sense, and I'd be alright with that. It's just I don't know if it would have to be Cetra or if they wanted to do somebody new. If I was the Mortarch of Shadows, according to one of the facts about us, right. Where was I? Given how much the Galaxy's style tech controls, how much we don't see more tech and dialogue with other big leaders because they don't give us enough Xenos lore, god damn it. Opinions on Thunder Warrior conversions. I can't remember how large Thunder Warrior was in relation to it at Astarte, so I probably for scale you want Primarchs, but the armor won't look anything like right, so I don't know. Balthazar Gelt was his... Balthazar Gelt was the Master Wizard of Metal. Are you sure? I'm not saying you're wrong, but are you sure? Because Balthazar Gelt was like... is like metal dude. That's kind of his thing. So absorb this. I tell you what though, speaking of that little goof with getting absorbed into something, I built Commander Arakon's legs backwards because I built him while I was recording it at this Podcastus. So I know exactly how you feel. Well, not exactly, but I do sympathise. Well, because someone please help with this, but it's Silent King of the Necron's dead. No, the Silent King is alive and he's back. He's, lore-wise, he's canonically back and he helped the Blood Angels at some point, I believe, with the Tyranids, because he believes the Tyranids are the ultimate threat to the galaxy and he needs to get the entire Necron race together to defeat them, diddly diddly dee. So that's why I wanted the Silent King, that's why I wanted, what's it called, the Necrons to be the Codex reveal that we got yesterday, because it would have given us the Silent King. Why did we not get this? Ugh. Is Malal the Great Horn Rat? No. Who were the end times Mortarks? No. Right. I think we're getting mixed up between Mortarks and Incarnates here. There are two entirely different things. The Mortarks are the undead servants of Nagash, including, but perhaps not limited to, I don't remember, Manfred von Karstein, Neferata, and Arkan the Black. The Incarnates were the 8 embodiments of the Winds of Magic, including but not limited to Caradrian, Tyrion, Alariel, possibly Nagash, Grimgor Ironhide at some point, some dwarf dude at some point, and various others who were Incarnates of different things. Are we getting mixed up between Mortarks and Incarnates here? Also, hi. Yes, I know there were Mortarks and End Times. I listed 3 of them already. They're called Manfred, Neferata, and Arkan. But are we getting mixed up between the two? That's all, because I'm sorry, I'm just confused. Yes, you will. My mic is more sensitive than my ears. Like, I can actually hear more what's going on in my corridor through these because of that than I could if I didn't have the earphones in. Scarsnake, yep, of course, Scarsnake. Thanks, the Lord of War equal to a demon Primarch is powerful. I don't know if he'll be quite on a Primarch level, but he's going to be powerful when he comes back. Excuse me. That was a bit loud. I'm actually checking my phone because it makes that happen. Hope he's on parallel for the Primarchs. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Because I don't know how much of a powerful body he got over the other Overlords and Pharaons. I don't know how much more powerful he has. Congratulations, 500 subscribers. I remember 500 subscribers. That was a really, really exhilarating moment. So, congratulations, and well, good luck to you. what's being painted is a Stormcast Judicator and a Gryph-hound. Let's say Gillen direct to learning of the Necrons. Yeah, we need a lot more plot, basically. We just need more plot on everything. And that's what 40k is doing, is building up its basis, as well as giving us interesting segments like battles. So, yes, good, carry on. Why? That's why. We'll go for another 45 minutes or so, and then call it a night. We'll have 2 hours of stream, just to get back into things. I can't promise to make this a weekly thing. I'm hoping to make this a weekly thing, that we have a live stream a week, but I can't promise if I will and when and stuff. Just to arrive what's going on, I'm painting and we're talking about all sorts, from fantasy end times to Age of Sigmar to 40k, here, there and back there again and everywhere. And I've got pins and needles again, ow. Oh dear. Right, where was I? The Mortarchs were Archon, Neferata, Krell, Manfred, Vlad, Harkon, Helsnicht, Harkon, and someone called the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9? Why 9? Why not 8 to count the incarnates? Then again, Nagash was probably the incarnate death, wasn't he? Okay. Thoughts of Australian Firstborn. Watch this space. That's all I'm going to say. Watch this space, my friend. Okay, remind me, next stream, if I haven't done so already, get a new paintbrush. I'm holding you to that, chat. Remind me to get a new paintbrush next stream, if I haven't done so already. I don't know if Starsnake did become Avatar of Gork and Mork, because Grimgor Ironhide, I think, became like the incarnate of Beast or Fire or something. I know Grimgor was involved, but I don't remember how, and nor do I remember how Starsnake got involved. There's no point telling me to get a new paintbrush now. GW's closed. I can't really go and get one now. It's nearly 9:30 on a Sunday. When am I going to get it? 9:30 on a Sunday. Everything's closed. And yes, it's France. Everything is genuinely closed. What's the point of me reminding me to tell you to tell me to get a new paintbrush when I'm the one who needs reminding to get a new paintbrush? God damn it, that's not helpful. Favourite 40k army model-wise? Oof. Oof. I really like the aesthetic of Tau battle suits, which is quite, it's an army in and of itself. But then, I really like the look of Khorne stuff. Like, Juggernauts are really good sculpts, and I'm not a huge fan of Bloodletters, but they're alright. The Bloodletters puts me off. Same with Lord of Change, actually. Nurgle, Beasts, Eldari, no, just meh. Guard, meh. Orcs have some fantastic and also some terrible models. I think there's sort of factions within the army. Like the Tau Faster Enclaves are all battle suits, got a really good aesthetic. The Dark Eldar Witch Cults, and including the Hellions and the Reavers, that's a really good aesthetic. And the Carbolites, to be fair. But the Homunculate one's just, ugh. There's loads of like factions within factions that are good, but I don't know about a whole race. Where was I? Mortar's the most powerful servants of Nagash, who was the incarnate of death. I thought he was. Necrons or Grey Knights. Necrons are alright, but they get repetitive really quickly. Admech. I don't know about Admech. Admech are cool, but no, not my favourites. They're just like, they are cool, but they're just cool. Like, they'd make the cool wall, but I don't think it'd be Sub-Zero. Shout out if you get that reference. Shout out if you get that reference. Should go back to painting my guard. Got 20 mostly finished. Look at the 80. I feel you. Right, okay. Here's how I paint en masse. I don't. I had to paint 115 orcs as part of a Green Tide that I bought. And I basically built them and painted them in 5s at a time. So I got 5 models out, built them, painted them, put them away. Got 5 models out, built them, painted them, put them away. And so on, and so on, and so on. Yes! Somebody got the reference. I was watching an old rerun of Top Gear the other night, and they actually had the cool wall on it, but it's been years, like even like before Top Gear went off BBC. Actually, do they still have the new Top Gear have the cool wall? I didn't really get to see new Top Gear because it was while I was at uni, so I didn't get to see it. But did new Top Gear have the cool wall? Well, I got a quiver. Just check I've got a quiver. Yeah, I have a completed quiver. Okay. Do I have a completed dagger? Yeah, I have a completed dagger. Good. Although I need to... Yeah. New Top Gear did not. Okay. Yeah, okay, good. Shout out people got the reference because old Top Gear had it and old Top Gear was amazing. For most of the time. Sometimes it was a bit absurd, but hey. The problem is I've not really got Amazon Prime and stuff, so I'm not really going to be watching the Grand Tour, unfortunately. To be fair, when I'm at uni, I do not watch anything television related at all. Like, everything I watch is on YouTube. 47 cultists in 9 days. Yeah, ouch, well done. I still remember the mad week of hobby that I did, where I basically based half my army, and I did a devilfish, and I did a razor shark, and I did some other stuff. I had like one of those ridiculous weeks of hobby you've ever seen. It was mad. But I think that takes the biscuit. So grey, and then I need to clean up some bits. Yeah. So let me do the clean up bits first. Okay, troops in a week, but that was just with the Silver Dry Rush. Fair. can hear my clippers squeaking. That's just embarrassing. Well, how much you see next in 40k and what new stuff I have no idea. I think from a fluff perspective, I want to see like Tau and Necrons and Dark Eldar next. But in terms of new stuff, God, I have absolutely no clue. I just dropped the frame. I personally do not play Warcraft. I know about it via the medium of Hearthstone, but that's about it. Anyone salty about the next codexes? I'm not salty about it. I'm not completely convinced it was the right choice. I'm completely not convinced it was the right choice. I'd have preferred Necrons, particularly with that teaser, but can't have it all. How often does Space Marines die in the lore? A lot. Just go read Devastation of Baal. The death count is ridiculous. Gaunt's Ghosts or Deathcore? Gaunt's Ghosts. I don't know as much about the Tanith first and only, but they are badass as hell. That's a WoW thing. I'm just going to stay out of that. Oh, we've maintained a steady 30 in the chat. That's good. Yeah, it's not been super active, but then again, not what I expect it to be. It's just been good to just get back into streaming because I haven't done it in so long. I'm just glad to be back. Oh, that extends a little further. No, sad. I didn't know until Space will have that. Yeah, I really didn't know I don't know my War of the Beast that well. The War of the Beast is probably the biggest hole in my plot knowledge. So like, I know the Great Crusade reasonably well, I know the Horus Heresy reasonably well, and I keep up with the modern era, though I don't know it all. But the War of the Beast is my biggest blank. So it was very interesting to see that about the Death Watch and how they came to be. I sort of knew bits about it because I'd heard of Corland and Venand through Do My Assassinorum lore and other things, but yeah. Read the books, they're amazing. Could you try to get Dan Abnett on the podcast? I can't guarantee getting anybody. Like, we can try and get some of the Black Library guys on the podcast. We can try, like, I don't know, a Josh Reynolds or an ADP or even a Dan Abnett, I don't know. Because having Gav on was just an amazing episode. I really enjoyed having Gav on, even if we had audio quality issues for days. It was a fantastic episode. So yeah, if we can, we will, but we make no promises. What was I doing? Great. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed the Grey Knights video. I've got good at translating typos in chat. Yes, it would be awesome to have someone from... Oh God, don't you start. Nothing but around 100 guardsmen, 3 Russes, Basilisks, Mortars, 2 las cannons, 3 autocannons, 3 heavy bolts, and 2 commissars. That's impressive. Thoughts on the Death Watch? Very cool. Very unique, definitely. I don't know about like how I'd rank them as my amongst my favorite Space Marines because they're so different. I've read one novel about them, the novel aptly named Death Watch, and I really enjoyed that. But they are good and they are interesting and they've got plenty of scope. But at the same time, I don't think I'd ever want to play them. Does that make sense, or was that just too vague? Like I like them, but I would never play them. If that makes any sense at all. Yep, Gaunt Scouts can do bullshit things. I'm aware of this. Small but elite army. I wonder what other Imperial factions are like that. Yeah, you'll also notice I don't care about playing Custodes. Like, I just want to know about them from a lore perspective. So, yeah. Having done the Custodes in the past, it was like very frustrating to just not know. I think the timing of which I was doing Legions, like, I was actually quite amazed by how few comments I got on my Ultramarines lore video. About like the return of Gilliman, because I had to put a disclaimer in the description like, I made this a couple of weeks ago, Gathering Storm hadn't happened, please don't shoot me because I didn't mention Gilliman being alive. The joys of working ahead of schedule. Who's that shouted someone back from the dead? If Rain resurrected somebody by stabbing them with a sword, Iniad resurrected Ivrain by doing nonsense. Relationship with Tau, that's Kane, not Gaunt. Sorry, different thing. Lore-wise, is there an army you would love to play because of their lore but don't want to? The Salamanders are fun. I like their lore. Black Templars, again, like their lore. Who else? Custodes are alright. Not sure. Honestly, not sure. Oh, okay, cool. So I'm going to go after this is done. Oh, well, thank you for your loyalty, I suppose. Grimaldus didn't shout anyone back from the dead. He unleashed a massive war cry, the temple collapsed, and then he just didn't die. So, berated a princess back to life. What? Can you get me a source on that that's not someone else's YouTube video? I want an actual book, please. Berated a princess back. No, I think the princess was oh, right. Princeps. Okay, right. If I remember Hell's Reach correctly, because now I know what you're talking about. That was a case of, I think the Princeps was basically committing suicide, or was giving up, or was being consumed by the Titan's machine spirit. And Grimaldus didn't shout her back to life because she wasn't dead, but sort of rallied her and inspired her and got her back fighting and did something. He talked her around rather than her actually being dead. I believe she was just being subsumed by the machine spirit. I might have that wrong. I haven't read Hell's Reach in years, and I mean years. But that's how I think I remember that scene going, because I think I remember that scene now. With all due respect, I'm not going to answer that question. He chided the princeps and the imperator to fight off the machine spirit. Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. I don't believe the princeps died at any point. Hence why I was confused. Favourite guard regiment? Let me finish Regiments of Renown and then I'll tell you. So let me finish that series, and when I finish that series, I will let you know. If you remind me. Nagash probably did, but he's Nagash. He's a god. He does that. And also that's a different law system. Most people aren't talking about that because, yeah. Thought I was. Yeah. Thoughts about the Imperial Dark Age technology humans that came out the war about time and death of integrity. Yeah. Of course they did. It's the Imperium. Well, yes, we do need to know how Slaanesh was kidnapped by Tyrion or Malerion, or both. So yes, we do need that lore. Hopefully we'll get that during the Summer of Slaanesh. Could I recommend one Horus Heresy book to read? Not that I've read personally. I've only actually read the first 3, and the rest I've had to research myself and find snippets of. I've been told Master of Mankind is a fantastic read. Fulgrim is Istvan 5, and so it's probably a very good read. Beyond that, what I'm thinking about interesting plot lines. Fear to Tread was the Battle Seekers Prime. That could be an interesting one. Deliverance Lost, maybe. Unremembered Empire. I don't know. I don't know how good those books are, but they've got interesting ideas in the plot. So there's a couple of recommendations, I guess. Will the Side Titan get rules or models? Did it not in book 7? Oh, in 40k? No, I don't think so. I don't think we're ever going to see much of the Titanica in 40k. You're welcome. If I told you that a book was worth reading that sucks, I'm sorry, I haven't actually read them myself. Although if you do just want to start somewhere, just read Horus Rising, False Gods, and Galaxy in Flames. It's a fair start. How do you think the Dark Eldar will screw with the throne? I have no idea. That was just such an interesting plot point. I don't know. Angels of Caliban? Fair enough. Now, what about... I didn't do the Griffhound's collar. Herp derp. Have you seen the Hell's Generation series? No, I haven't. I've just been too damn busy, and I'm sorry. I know it exists, and I know it's amazing. I just haven't actually stopped and seen it. Will we get an Imperator model for Titanicus? I don't know. No idea. I'm just not going to answer that, because it's just safer for everybody involved. Dark Eldar fixed the throne to save their home. Well, I don't know what state Comorra's in, and that's why I want a Dark Eldar Codex, so as we can get a proper look at what's going on in Comorra right now, and then that might actually be a valid plot point. Bram? I'm completely confused. They mean both. The Imperator class Titans encompass both the Emperor and the Warmonger. I covered it in a lore video a while ago on the Collegia Titanica, so go look at that. Thoughts of the Prince of Crows? Watch this space. What? That's the phonetic pronunciation according to the way the English would say it. I'm sorry if that's completely wrong, but there's no accent on the A, so yeah. I'm painting a Stormcast Eternal, Judicator and Gryphound at the moment. Although I now need to do a dry brush, so give me un momento. I will be right back. Did you read The Prince of Crows? No, I didn't. I thought you were just referring to Sevatar as a person. Death Guard coded just by Chaos Eldar Core says. I don't think we're going to see Chaos Eldar in the game. I don't. There's no G in that word. Given that faith kind of fuels the warp, is it possible for one to accidentally birth God at the Elder but end up with a nicer result? The problem is that those emotions would just be completely overruled by the nature of the galaxy right now, where everything is effed up. Also funny. And the chat doesn't move fast enough for you to hide. Alright, we're going to have about 15 more minutes, everybody, and then we'll call it a stream. I just want to get this dry brush done, and then we'll take some final questions and stuff, and there we go. Oh, CH is a G sound, or a G sound. It's G sound, okay. With a hard G. CH is a hard G, so it's a G sound. Unless, I mean, it's like a J sound, which could be jam. You have no idea how strongly some feel about toast. Yes, but, yeah, but no, but. Did you know, I've not read Prince of Crows as an actual book. I have not, or a audio drama, I have not read it. I like Sevatar as a character, the Prince of Crows, because Sevatar is amazing, and I'll talk more about that tomorrow, but I have not read it myself. Okay, does that make sense? Do you have advice for someone building a custom chapter? I have no idea where to start, because I'm not an expert. Basically, a good place to, might be a thing to do, is to go look at Remlace's homebrew series, look at what people have done there, and think, is that too insane? Or could I do something like that? Basically, just make it believable. Just try, it's got to be believable. I think that's the main thing. I'm just not going to try and pronounce stuff because I know I pronounce things weird. And yeah, starting a history first definitely makes sense. Well, you don't have to start at their history. You might want to start with like their main gimmick, so like what they're all about. Like you need to name what they're about and what their history is are the main things, and you could do it in any particular order. I think about Talos. If Talos is Heresiary, it's Talos. Is it Talos Valcorin, or am I getting that mixed up? I feel like it's Talos Valcorin. But then again, Talos Valcorin sounds like it belongs to something else entirely. Barbarians, Nightbloods, Talos. Yeah, it was Talos Valcorin. Yeah, Talos Valcorin's a badass. I rather like Talos Valcorin. After campaign, where would you like them to go next in AoS? Destruction and the other order factions. So let's get some information on the elves. Some information on Slanesh, because that is a plot point that's been hanging for far too long. Some information on the Skaven, and in fact you could do 2 or 3 of those things all together. Because I read this in Blight War, that the Great Horned Rat, just like Nurgle went into the realm of life and Khorne went into the realm of fire and Tzeentch went into the realm of metal, the Great Horned Rat wanted the Skaven to go and conquer the realm of shadow. Now, who lives in the realm of shadow, it's Malerian. Therefore, you can give us Elven Lore and Skaven Lore at the same time, and if Malerian was involved in the capture of Slaanesh, then, well, that just all adds up, doesn't it? It all just adds up. So that's what I think they should do next, is the Realm of Shadow. Let's go with that. Favourite Necron character? Anrakir, Orican, or Trazyn? Not sure which. So what am I going to do for highlights? That doesn't need much. That needs a little bit of gold. I'm going to do the wash. Wash next. Like the realm of light is the sun, the realm of shadow is the moon. It's a little bit more than that, because actually Azir is the sort of the light of them all, because it's the realm of heavens, rather than the realm of light and the realm of shadow. So like Shadow and like Ulgu and Haish, or Hish, however it's pronounced, do mirror each other, but Azir is the sun, I suppose. Oh no, you're right. Because Hish and Ulgu orbit each other, don't they? And whichever one you can see is when you've got the light or dark. Yes, you're right. I do remember that. It's a fancy little bit of plot points. Short answer, go with the Dark Ages Codex. Yes, that. Damn, that about too fast. Okay, absolutely 10 more minutes. Let's do it. Let's be having you. Worst lore be last year that GW did. That basically means you're taking a dump on everything that happened in Gathering Storm in 8th edition. And some people don't like it. I get that. Personally, I'm quite alright with it. It was a bit rushed in places and a bit extreme in places, but overall, quite happy with it. And Devastation of Baal, Dark Imperium, fantastic reads. We don't know about what's going on with Luther, all we know is it's escaped. That's it. It was like one line, that's all we know. Which is why when the line comes back, we'll get that plot information, I think. Okay, so I need to do I need to fix up the... Yeah, I just want to patch up the balloon. No, I have not... Yeah, I was drying my brush. Because some things you create the small of your... Hang on, how do I get this on the screen? If you sort of get your brush into there, it sort of allows you to keep your bristles straight. I learned that was in a White Dwarf yonks ago. Best fantasy universe. I have no sodding clue. I'm sorry. It said the next Primarch never had a model. Khan has not got a model, for one. Perturabo. Oh, he has got a model. Sorry, what I'm talking about. Khan and Lion are the two that don't have a model yet. And yes, you're right about Sanguinius. Dawn doesn't have a model yet. Dawn hasn't got a model yet. Stop it. It was just rushed in the worst. AoS has got plot holes. I'm aware of that, and I ranted about that on New Year's Day. But they're fixing it now with Malign Portents. It just didn't fill in the gaps because they didn't get enough releases to do it. And GS was rushed, yes, I agree, but it got us where it needed to be. Got to consider that. Yeah, his name's Marbus or something. Right. I was doing some blue, wasn't I? That's a green. That's my blue. full TTS meme. I don't even know. I don't even know. Right. Oh, sorry, I'm going to be checking out in 5 minutes. So, hi, but I'm going to be checking out in like 5 minutes. I'm just going to finish these washes and then I'm going to check out. When are we going to see just Terror Lord this or next year? I don't know. Depends on how quickly they want to get through it. But at current speed, I think it will probably be next year. Don't get spoiled that Forza was bring. There was something in the rumour engine that might have been Dawn, but I don't believe we saw anything that was actually a proper leak or spoiler of Dawn. There was no Thousand Suns hype train. I don't care for, as I mentioned in the previous podcast, I don't particularly care for 40k Thousand Suns. So there was no hype train to begin with. They're just sort of there. Like, it's nice to see them, and I think they'll be an interesting faction, and the Mutualist's fun, but they're just sort of there. So no, you did not miss the hype train because there was no hype train. For how many years the previous black book's been released? I wouldn't logically make 10. We're not talking about the black. If you're thinking black books, we're talking the Horus Heresy books. Yeah, there you are. I don't know, because Angron came out. I covered Angron on the channel when Angron got released, so it can't have been any more than 3 years ago. And we got to 7, so it's been about 2 to 3 books a year. Was there a hype train for Custodes? There was a lore intrigue train, but I wouldn't call it a. I shouldn't have done that. There wasn't a hype train, no. Ahriman, he selectively did it when he took possession of Armon's armor after he killed Armon. I think I mentioned that in my Thousand Suns Legions video. Truthfully, the hype train coming out of the open day was more for the death battle tone than anything else. I tweeted it out after I read the announcement. I was at the airport. I'd actually arrived in France, and I was waiting at the airport for a bus, and I saw on Warhammer Community, and I was like, oh, cool, I want to see that death battle tone because there's going to be loads of lore in it to go with Malign Portents. I don't play 40k minus, it's 30k minus, and orcs don't have rules in 30k, so no. Is the answer to that. Thanks, I really need to know what was going on in Zoran stream. That was really necessary, thank you. Sorry. Oh, the podcast intro. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean now, sorry. Yeah, that podcast intro isn't entirely accurate because I don't play Thousand Suns in 40k. I just play them in 30k. But I see what you're saying now. What about a 30k army? We can only 4 magnets and 12 marines casting over the dozens. Honestly, I would say hold off on buying Magnus. Would you play your 30k Thousand Sons and Blood Angels successors? Do you mean Blood Ravens? Because I got nothing. I have nothing in my collection that has anything to do with Blood Angels. But honestly, like I'm not fussed for playing Marines in 40k at all. I never have played Marines in 40k, and I don't particularly care to do so. So it's fine. To be fair, if I was going to play a 40k Space Marine army, I'd need to look into Blood Angels, but I do quite like the Blood Angels. How is it contain the 1k Sun's armor? It's I don't know how it's I know how it's contained. It's psychic. The armor is sealed. It's completely sealed. As to whether it floats or whether it's whatever, I don't know, and nor do I particularly care. Oh, Librarian Journals, right. Got you now. Sorry, completely missed that. Probably, I like the Blood Angels, but I don't think I'd like them enough to play them, if that makes sense. Like, I like them, but I wouldn't play them. Oh, person saying hi. Sorry, I'm going to be, as soon as I've done this black wash, I'm checking out, so, sorry. When your mic's so sensitive, you can hear the noise on the corridor better than you could with your own ears. To be fair, I was gonna play Blood Angels. I probably play them as Flesh Terrors because I find don't know why I really like the Flesh Terrors, but I do quite like the Flesh Terrors. And Gabriel Seth, particularly, like, you read about Gabriel Seth, and in Devastation of Baal, he comes across so well. Like I don't know everything about Gabriel Seth, like the whole assassination of Gabriel Seth. I don't know what that was all about, but God, he comes over so well in Devastation of Baal. A bit of a dick, but no more of a dick than your average Space Marine is a dick. So, am I going to be stream? The plan is to stream more. I don't know if I can manage. Like, if I can, I want to stream every week. So if I have a day where I finish lectures, like labs is going to be okay. What I'll say is I have labs on Fridays and also podcast. So there will never be Friday streams. This is just sort of a one-off just to get me back into streaming. Mondays I have uploads, Saturdays I have uploads and stuff to do. So I don't know, but I think if I can make weekly streams possible, I will. I'll say that much. If I can get weekly streams, I'll do weekly streams. $5 a.m. 7 hours ahead of me, so that's 8 hours ahead of UK. That's Asia. That's sort of is that like Japan-ish? I think that's Japan-ish. Because it's not as far as Australia, because that's 9 or 10. So I feel like that's like Japan area. Hong Kong, right, yeah. Okay, I was in the right region. I'll take that. My geography's not terrible. I was in the right area. That's Yoda makes that quote. That's a Yoda quote, isn't it? Speaking of which, I actually saw Star Wars just before I came back to France. I actually went to see Star Wars with my family. Good movie. Intriguing. Confusing in places, but intriguing nonetheless. And overall, good movie. And I'll leave it to that. Right, is that everything? I think that is everything. Right, that's your lot. That is your lot, ladies and gentlemen, and Xenos of all races for this evening. I do hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you for coming out. It's been a pleasure. It's been good to be back in the whole setup, doing streams and talking to people. I do need to buy more drinks, but yeah. I will endeavour to keep streaming in future. Also, no news on Black Library. If there is anything, we will let you know. But yes, I do hope you enjoyed the stream. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you join me tomorrow for a video where we're doing another top 5. And hopefully we'll see you later in next week for the streams. So thank you all for watching. This has been Tactica Imperialis, and I'll see you all again. Good night.